The Houses of Parliament Fast Stream offers a unique opportunity for an exciting career at the heart of UK democracy. The Houses of Parliament Fast Stream differs from other Fast Stream programmes as you'll be working for Parliament, the legislature, as opposed to working for government as a civil servant. Your work will therefore centre on the scrutiny and shaping of policy and the process of passing new legislation rather than the implementation of government policy. As a fast streamer in the Houses of Parliament, you'll have the opportunity to work with peers in the House of Lords and MPs in the House of Commons to support them in their parliamentary duties. You could be assisting committees as they scrutinise government policy, advising on procedure for the passage of legislation, or working to support the running of Parliament in some other capacity. Wherever your career takes you, you'll be part of a fascinating and dynamic institution and be able to witness at first hand the cut and thrust of politics and the events that shape our parliamentary history. You'll also gain an expert knowledge of parliamentary processes, the customs and practices that govern proceedings and lawmaking in both houses. And you'll experience all this in the historic surroundings of the Houses of Parliament at the very centre of Westminster. So, what does the fast stream look like in the Houses of Parliament?
My name's Nicole and I'm currently on the Lords Fast Stream. The role that I'm in at the moment is I'm a clerk to a subcommittee. It's an EU subcommittee which looks at the internal market, infrastructure and employment. At the moment I'm working on an inquiry. That's kind of the major project I'm doing now, and it's to do with youth unemployment in the EU. So I feel very lucky to be working on it. As a young person, I've seen my friends who are currently in the process of getting a job and accessing the labour market, so it's been really interesting. We're currently at the final stages of the inquiry, so starting to draft the report, which will eventually be debated in the House of Lords, which is very exciting.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Owen. I'm currently Head of Campaigns Management in Parliamentary Outreach. I'm in my third year of the Fast Stream, having joined in 2011. I graduated from Sheffield University in 2007, having studied history and archaeology, and wasn't really sure what to do with myself after that, so I went away to do a law conversion course. After working for a year or two, I decided that actually law wasn't for me, so I decided to look around for a few other options and ended up applying for the fast stream process. I wasn't sure quite what I wanted to do at the end of that process, but I decided to plump for the House of Commons. And when I came here on an open day, I decided that really this sounded like it was the perfect place for me. Wandering around the fantastic buildings that we've got and meeting the really interesting people and hearing about the incredibly varied career that was on offer here, it really seemed to me like the option that was perfectly suited to my skills.
It's very difficult to pinpoint sort of one exciting or surprising thing because, well, I don't think the fast stream is similar to any job I've ever done, and you know, we work in this beautiful historic building which is completely different to anything that I can imagine apart from working for another parliament. So in terms of what surprised me, I'd say the amount of responsibility that I was given from day one.
In terms of the interview itself, we tend to be looking at skills such as quality of written and oral communication. You spend a lot of time here writing briefing papers for members of committees or writing research papers for other colleagues, and you often have to provide advice over the telephone or in person to a range of MPs on a variety of different subjects. So being able to communicate clearly and effectively is really important. And the other key thing is political impartiality. You know, it would be impossible to do your job here if you were an ardent supporter of one particular party. It's really important to be interested and pay attention to what's happening in the political world, but you know, at the same time you need to stay back from the cut and thrust, as it were, of day-to-day politics and provide your advice in an impartial and clear manner.
I suppose one of the things I would say is that everyone is really friendly. Even, you know, the members, which you might not necessarily think are friendly, are really friendly and down to earth, to say again. There's, I suppose, a perception that the House of Lords might be very old-fashioned and bureaucratic, but I don't feel that it is. It's very different to working in the private sector, but I think bureaucratic would be the wrong way to describe it. So for someone who's quite dynamic and has lots of ideas coming in, I think it's very important to realise that if you have an idea of how things should be done, you can bring that forward and you're expected to make suggestions and think about how things should be done.